Hi, Ray here. It took the U.S. 9 months to catch Saddam Hussein, but this time they struck the heart of Iran in just one day. How was such an overwhelming speed even possible? It's not just because the bombers are great, it's that a technology we're investing in has completely rewritten the rules of the game. In today's video, we're going to uncover 3 hidden truths behind the Iranian airstrike, Operation Epic Fury. First off, let's look at why Trump is taking such a risky gamble right now and what's really going on behind the scenes. Next, we'll dive into why Iran is targeting Dubai instead of Saudi Arabia and how that's going to impact oil prices and your wallet. Finally, I'll explain why the real star of this conflict isn't hardware, but an AI company called Anthropic, and what this ironic shift means for your investment strategy. Stick with me until the end, and I'll give you a clear roadmap so you know exactly where to focus in a market as wild as this one. First, let's look at the name of this operation. It's Epic Fury, which essentially means an all-time level of rage. Just like the name suggests, the U.S. military unleashed a level of firepower that caught even the experts by surprise. In just 24 hours, Iran's top leadership, including key commanders and the defense minister, literally just vanished. But here's the thing we have to wonder. Why was President Trump in such a big hurry to pull the trigger on this? Honestly, Trump's approval ratings were looking pretty shaky lately. Especially after the Epstein scandal broke, even fellow Republicans were starting to have their doubts. He was in desperate need of a big move to flip the script. It's like a student whose grades are hitting rock bottom, suddenly making a wild bet that they'll be top of the class by the end of the semester. But Trump seemed pretty convinced. Odds are, someone got in his ear and whispered that, with AI on their side, they could finish this in no time. Actually, in this latest strike, AI identified and tracked over 500 targets all at once. And the best part? Not a single U.S. soldier was hurt. So, at the end of the day, this war isn't just about military force. It's become a proving ground, showing just how brutally efficient AI can be in real combat. All right, now we have to ask ourselves the big question. Is this conflict going to escalate even further? Or are things finally going to settle down right here? Surprisingly, the market's staying pretty calm right now. Bitcoin had a quick dip, but bounced back fast, and even the Saudi market only saw about a 2% drop. It's because the U.S. probably already closed a deal with OPEC Plus to start pumping out way more oil. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Iran's reaction. Instead of taking on the U.S. or Saudi Arabia directly, they're strangely targeting Dubai. But why Dubai of all places? Dubai is basically a massive vault for global wealth and hedge funds. With zero taxes and a great lifestyle, even London's top finance pros are flocking there. Iran's in a tough spot. They're afraid to hit the U.S. directly and face retaliation, but doing nothing would crush their pride. So they've gone with a different strategy. We're going to hit you where it hurts, your wallet. Think of it like this. They can't close the highway, so they've hiked the tolls 10 times over and put up scary signs until everyone decides to just take the long way around. Now, the threat to close the Strait of Hormuz is less about a physical barrier and more about creating an economic chokehold. Now, insurance companies are hiking premiums by 50 to 100% because they're worried about accidents. When it costs hundreds of thousands extra per ship, shipping lines naturally start giving up on those routes. This could be a major blow for countries relying on this route for their energy. But Iran needs to keep China happy, so they likely won't block the shipping lanes entirely. Instead, they'll likely keep this tension going as long as possible, just to make sure they've got the upper hand at the bargaining table. All right, let's wrap up with the most ironic part of this whole story. It turns out the real brains behind this operation was none other than Anthropic's AI model, Claude. Why is this so shocking? Well, it wasn't that long ago that the Trump administration labeled Anthropic a national security threat and even tried to ban it entirely. Publicly, they're yelling, "Stay away, this company's risky," but behind closed doors, they're using that very tech to fight their battles. Think of it like calling your bodyguard a scary guy in public, but then, the second a real fight breaks out, you're the first one ducking behind him for protection. At the end of the day, this whole situation shows us one thing. AI is no longer just tech, it's a vital asset that literally determines a country's survival. The reason the Pentagon labeled Anthropic as a threat is likely because this tech is so powerful they just want to keep it all for themselves. This latest strike on Iran proves one thing. We've entered a new era where AI now dictates the speed and precision of modern warfare. Now, I know some of you might be watching this and thinking, wait, Are we really on the brink of World War III? But if we're being realistic, even Trump doesn't want oil prices spiking to $100 or $200. See, if prices spike, they'll lose the election and their political career is history. So while they'll keep the pressure dialed up for now, they'll likely manage things carefully to make sure they don't actually flip the table and ruin the game. So to wrap things up, history will remember this moment as the very first time AI stepped up and took total control of the battlefield. Oil prices will be volatile for a bit, but the U.S. will use its reserves and up production to keep a lid on them. Instead of giving in to fear, we should watch which companies are proving their tech and how energy supply chain shifts will create new opportunities for our investments. That's all for today. Tomorrow at 7 a.m., make sure to check where the oil futures prices land right when the market opens. Think of that number as the first real sign of where the market is headed next. All right, hit that like and subscribe button. I'm Ray, bringing you the best tips to grow your wealth.